Hello everyone and welcome to episode 20 of Thursday Thoughts, and another recorded session this week because I was going to go live today, but I've got a customer who can only do a call at a certain time, and it just so happens that it'll clash with our Thursday Thoughts live session. I know some of you have been asking, can we go back to live? And the answer is yes, I would like to. We're paying for a service that we're not actually using at the moment, so I will certainly be looking at going back live. So we've only got 5 news items this week, which are newsworthy items, and then I've got 5 TDW stuff, then only one question and some closing items that I thought that we would go through. So the news, what I've decided, because there is so much news out there around the ADS sector that we work in, I've really tried to just pull out the stuff that is really appropriate to technical information. So I'm trying to stay away from new contracts awarded, and you sales guys out there that watch this for that kind of announcement, you'll have to go out and find that information from somewhere else, because there's so much stuff going on and there's so much new contracts and that kind of stuff that's really not directly appropriate to what it is that we're doing. So I am going to go through the stuff that I think is really super interesting and will affect us in technical information. I am absolutely sure of it. So this week, Adobe has fixed a security vulnerability in their Creative Cloud suite. And I did read somewhere that it was specific to I think it was Photoshop. I didn't read it in full, but they're saying that they did discover a security vulnerability in the desktop application of Creative Cloud. So if you know what that is, you should really go and make sure that it's updated and you're using the latest version. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a tool that is installed onto your desktop that basically manages the licensing of the Creative Cloud tools that you might be using. So Adobe has fixed that. Another Adobe piece of news, not being sponsored by Adobe, but this one I thought it was interesting because I know some of the operating systems that you guys are on out there, is that Adobe has announced that they are going to drop support in the next version of Creative Cloud. They're going to drop support for older versions of Windows OS. They're basically saying anything that's like 8.1 is going to be dropped and only certain versions of 10 are going to be supported. So you guys out there that are still on XP, you guys are going to have to get with the modern information age at some point and upgrade your operating systems. And, whilst I'm not sure at this stage whether that's going to affect the TechCom suite, I should think it probably will, because they're saying that this is kind of an Adobe announcement. So, and the reason that software companies do this, by the way, if you don't understand why they do this, is because if they have to maintain multiple versions of software to support multiple versions of operating systems, it becomes a real software nightmare. It becomes a management nightmare. So that's kind of why they have to do it. So Adobe has announced that they are going to drop older versions of the operating systems that are out there. I'll put a link below. You can go and see if you're affected by that. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to get your IT department to upgrade you. The UK has announced that they are going to develop their own version of the Galileo GPS system. What they have said is that, Europe, if you're going to freeze us out, then we're going to develop our own. And I have seen an announcement this week that the UK government has ring-fenced quite a significant chunk of money for a UK Galileo stroke US GPS system. And I still think this is a lot of saber rattling going on here, but the UK government has said that we've put, I think it's 100 million to one side so they can go and start developing a replacement for the Galileo. And yeah, that's getting a little bit nasty. Rolls-Royce, a couple of months ago, I think I mentioned that they were looking at relocating from London up to Derby or somewhere else. And that I didn't realise the head office was right next to Buckingham Palace. And I've been to TCS's offices right next to Buckingham Palace and sat on the top floor looking into the Buckingham Palace gardens, which was quite interesting. You're looking at now staying in London, but subletting some of the Guardian's buildings is what I believe is an option right now. So maybe you will be staying in London and your HQ will stay there, but it will be slightly cheaper and not paying the exorbitant rates that I know that organisations pay in London, especially if you're located right near Buckingham Palace. But I didn't even know you guys were there, to be perfectly honest. This one I wanted to mention because it's super exciting, and I was up all night watching tutorials on it and reading articles about it and figuring out, you know, what's the impact of this. And yes, we are still going to do a technology stroke podcast stroke blog, but the Magic Leap Augmented Reality lenses headsets were announced this week. And if you don't know what they are, go and Google Magic Leap headsets. And the reason why I'm super excited by these is because they are essentially the next generation. As I hate people that say the next generation, but these are generally the next generation of augmented reality headsets, because they have lots of great features, which I don't want to spoiler alert here because I want to do a specific blog on them. But those naysayers out there that are saying, you know, we're never going to put headsets on because you need to know where a workbench is, or you need to know where a step is, or you need to know, you know, if you're working on some decking or something like that. These headsets are spatially aware. They know if there is an obstacle in front of you. They will tell you and warn you that there is an obstacle, there is something that you might hurt yourself on. It is spatially aware. And there are lots of great features in there that I think is actually making the first generation, again, that term of headsets are already now way behind. And the amazing thing about this is they are super cheap in comparison to what you would pay for some of the existing headsets that are out there. These things are really cheap. I think it's $2,000 a headset or something, and that's only going to get cheaper over time. So I believe that they have released it to those that are developing solutions right now, AR solutions. And yeah, go and have a check of it. Go and Google it and look in YouTube, and you'll see for the Magic Leap headsets, they look super cool. And yep, I'll do a podcast on that because they got like 5 or 6 features which I think is knocking it out the park. Anyway, some TDW news. TechCom training, we have recorded the first 5 or 6 lessons, and they will be made live to TDIQ subscribers on Monday next week. So if you're a TDIQ subscriber, you'll be able to watch the first 6 lessons that we've had some good fun putting them together, to be perfectly honest. And we've set up a new kind of studio thing here to make it a little bit more intimate and to make it a little bit more engaging. And we can use this ring light, which you can probably see in my glasses. I'm trying to hold my head down so it's not distracting, but just trying to make it that little bit more professional, that little bit more engaging for you guys to watch. So S1000D A2Z of S1000D, and we're having some real fun putting this together as well. And basically I'm out recording, throwing stuff into the camera, and Jamie's editing them for me. Thank you to everybody who has sent in your comments on that. It's turned into be a little bit of a debate kind of area. I'm really interested in what you guys would add into each letter of the alphabet. We've had some suggestions for A. We released B yesterday morning. And if you have a free account on TDW, we will release the next version. The next tutorial, which is obviously C, will be announced on Sunday evening. So you'll get it probably 4 or 5 days ahead of everyone else. If you don't want to create a free account, no problem. Just wait and subscribe on S1000D World, and you will get notified when we make it live. But if you'd like it nice and early, then head on over to login.techdataworld.com, head up into the top right hand corner, which is my top left hand here, so I think it's got to go there. Head up into that corner and say sign up and follow the instructions. But yeah, we released that yesterday, and yeah, bit of fun, bit of tongue-in-cheek. Don't get upset, some of you out there. I know it's coming. It's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, so just take it as it is. Last week I did a podcast on the 5 things that wind me up, and I've had some really interesting discussions and really interesting conversations with people who say they agree with what I'm saying in that podcast. So what I'm going to say to you is I'm going to do another 5 things that wind me up, because there are other things out there that wind me up. But I'd be interested to hear what winds you up. So either comment below if you're on YouTube, or send in your comments to me at michael@techdataworld.com. And let's see if we can get some debate and discussion going here on the 5 things that wind you up. And yeah, I've had some good fun putting that together. Talking about live sessions, last Sunday I got up nice and early, and I had a special guest in the office, if you haven't watched it yet. So we got up nice and early and we did a live broadcast to YouTube about the new Adobe TechCom suite, and we talked about specifically about FrameMaker and some of the key features that are in there that I think are going to be super exciting and super interesting. Turns out a lot of you are really interested in that stuff, so we're going to be doing a few more tutorials on what's in there. The new features specifically. I'm not talking about the enhancements or that kind of stuff. I want to talk about the new features that are in there. And we are having a problem with one particular feature. I won't mention it. And we've got a support call into Adobe. We have started putting together a couple of, 5-minute kind of tea break type tutorials that will go up onto YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and we will pop them up there. And yeah, good fun. But we had a little bit of fun putting that together. And my little special guest made an appearance. So go and watch that. It's on our YouTube channel. And yeah, good fun. And we will, talking about that, talking to some of you out there, you like kind of the live link that we're adding here at TDW. So on a Monday morning, I'm going to start doing, we've got a funky name planned for it, but I'm going to be going live to Facebook every Monday morning, look around about 7 a.m. I start work at 6 for those of you that are interested. In fact, today I started at 4:30. Both Claire and I were awake at 4:30 this morning. And so I was in the office doing emails at 4:30. But I plan to go live on a Monday morning, 7 a.m. to Facebook. So make sure you go to Facebook, search Tech Data World, and I'm going to talk about the week ahead and some of the interesting news that may have come in over the weekend, or anything that we may have done. I work pretty much 7 days a week, so we produce lots of content, and I'll make it available to you on Facebook first thing on a Monday morning. So we're going to go live on a Monday morning. And the great thing about going live on a Monday morning or to Facebook is that it's so super easy for me to just do it on my mobile phone if I'm out of the office. So if I'm away, I can just quickly go live from my office or hotel or wherever it is, and we can do that. So yeah, make sure you sign up to that. So some questions. Well, we only had really one this week, which is pretty boring, but the question's not boring. The fact that we only had one question is that when will the TDW-Live agenda be made available? Now, we've got the outline, it's ready, and I know some of you have asked for it because you need it for the business case and you need to decide when and who's coming to which days. So we have put together the outline. I'm waiting on Aspire to give me their outline for their particular sessions, and then we will make it live. So I assume it'll probably be sort of Tuesday, Wednesday next week. But if you are desperate to get your business case through to come to the conference, then send in a message to Claire@techdataworld.com and she'll share the outline agenda with you so that you can then push forward and you can tell us who wants to come to which day and that kind of stuff. So short and sharp this week, chaps. I don't know how long that was because my timer's stopped on my Inferno over there, but just make sure that you like, share and subscribe to all of our channels. Please share this with all of your fellow TD professionals because we are trying to grow a community here. Make sure that you give us a thumbs up, you add your comments, even if it's negative. I'm interested in those that are disagreeing with what we're saying or doing here at TDW. I'm more than happy to have an open debate with you. And please do also create your free account over on TDW. Make sure that you go to login.techdataworld.com, create your free account, and you can access a whole load of free stuff that we're making available up there. Not only that, you'll get access to the S1000D world, A to Z of S1000D before everybody else gets it. So do that, go create your account, and you can hide yourself. You don't need to make your profile public or anything along those lines. I know there's a number of you down in Germany that you're working for some fairly large organizations and you wanted to keep yourself kind of incognito. That's perfectly possible. You just go into your privacy settings and hide your profile from everybody else. So that's it, guys. That's everything. I guess it's still holiday season, which is why it's relatively quiet, relatively short and sharp. Until next time, I'll see you on the circuit, and enjoy the tech data world wherever you are.